In the ever-evolving narratives of art and literature, the figure of the ballerina often occupies a uniquely ambivalent space, the embodiment of beauty and grace, yet simultaneously a representation of confinement and escape. Matteo Balaban, known as Rain Bordo, masterfully encapsulates this dichotomy in his evocative piece, Ballerina. Through a profound interplay of lyrical imagery and emotional resonance, Balaban invites the audience to question the relationship between the artist and his muse, the nature of creativity, and the existential struggle for autonomy. The opening lines of Ballerina immediately draw the reader into a vivid scene. The description of the ballerina's dress, with the brushstroke along the edge danced gently without shame, establishes an intimate connection between the artist and the subject. The ballet dancer is not just an aesthetic object, she is a living, breathing entity with agency and vitality. This is significant, as it sets the tone for the tension that unfolds throughout the piece. As the ballerina breaks the air with her dance, we witness the act of creation as both a celebration and a rebellion, an act that transcends mere representation. The painter, in his attempt to capture her essence on the canvas, is both an admirer and a captor. Balaban's language elegantly conveys the paradox of creation. While art seeks to immortalize its subject, it is also an act of control. The phrase, "the canvas pays for the dynamics of the dance with the painter's delight," suggests a transaction where the emotive power of the dancer is commodified through the lens of the artist. It raises a salient question: to what extent can one truly capture the essence of another's being through art, without overshadowing their individuality? The tension escalates when the ballerina leaps into the air, flees from the canvas. Here, Balaban imbues the dancer with a sense of autonomy. Her leap signifies not only an artistic flourish but also an act of defiance. The notion of fleeting illustrates the ephemerality of art and life. Whilst a dancer's performance can be frozen in time by the stroke of a brush, the spirit of the performance is ever elusive, rebelling against static representation. Balaban poignantly highlights this struggle between the desire to be captured and the instinct to remain free. In considering the nature of the artist-muse relationship, one cannot help but explore the implications of ownership. The phrase, "it is her destiny to leave," reflects an inherent flaw in the artist's yearning for possession. To define the ballerina purely as an object of beauty is to deny her humanity, her complexities, and her right to seek her unique path. This is emblematic of the broader critique of how female figures have often been portrayed in both art and culture, a view that strips them of their agency, relegating them to mere reflections of the artist's vision. Balaban's portrayal deftly navigates these complex dynamics, urging the audience to recognize that the ballerina's strength lies not only in her physical grace, but in her spirit of independence. Her exit from the canvas emerges as a powerful metaphor for liberation. It suggests that true art is not about possession but rather about celebrating the vibrancy and fluidity of life and creativity. The act of dancing in this context serves as a form of emancipation, an assertion of her right to dictate her own narrative, unencumbered by the expectations of the observer. Moreover, Balaban's exploration of this theme resonates deeply within the context of contemporary discussions surrounding the role of artists. In an era where artistic expression is frequently met with commercial pressures, the question arises: can artists maintain their authenticity while navigating the demands of a market that seeks to pigeonhole their work? The tensions reflected in Balaban's Ballerina resonate with many artists today, who grapple with the desire for recognition and the imperative to remain true to their voices. The ballerina's leap thus becomes symbolic. It is a call to arms for artists to resist the confines of societal expectation and to embrace their unique journeys, however divergent they may be. Yet, one may argue that the relationship between the artist and their muse is not simply a battleground for possession versus emancipation. It is also a dance, an intricate interplay of inspiration and interpretation. The painter's longing to tame her speaks to the unavoidable desire to shape and influence that characterizes many artistic relationships. Taming requires an understanding, a translation of the muse's essence into a new medium. However, Balaban cautions against this approach. It is a reminder that the essence of the dancer cannot be contained nor fully understood through the artist's lens alone. In the broader discourse on art, the tension between expression and representation remains a poignant theme. In their quest to capture transient moments, be it through paint, prose, or any other medium, artists face the inevitable challenge of limitations inherent in their chosen form. Balaban's imagery of the dancer, who embodies dynamism and freedom, thus serves as a poignant reminder of the constraints imposed by artistic mediums. The canvas, while a space for expression, can also become a limitation. It frames the muse, restricting her spontaneous essence to an unyielding surface. This confrontation between the desire to document and the reality of the ephemeral can be vexing. It questions whether true art is achievable or if it is destined to fall short of the experience it seeks to encapsulate. The notion of the dancer escaping the confines of the canvas evokes a profound sense of loss for the artist, representing the inherent limitations of representing subjective reality. Yet, as viewers, we are not left bereft. Rather, we are invited to engage with the tension itself. The experience of viewing art becomes an interactive dialogue where interpretation fills the gaps left by the artist's stroke, a conversation that celebrates the beauty of both creation and incompleteness. Moreover, Balaban's Ballerina transcends its immediate subject, delving into broader questions surrounding the human experience. The struggle between freedom and confinement, between the urge to escape and the inevitability of belonging, resonates universally. Life itself is a dance that oscillates between moments of soaring expression and the weight of societal constraints. The imagery of the dancing ballerina captures this paradox. She is both a symbol of liberation and an embodiment of the artist's inclination to bind that freedom within the confines of interpretation. In conclusion, Matteo Balaban's Ballerina is a rich tapestry of themes that invites introspection about the relationship between artist and muse, the nature of creative expression, and the longing for autonomy. Through the lens of the ballerina's dance, a dance that embodies both beauty and rebellion, Balaban skillfully navigates the complexities of artistic representation, leaving us with lingering questions about the essence of art itself. Is the true purpose of artistic creation to confine or to liberate? As the ballerina leaps into the air, it serves as a powerful reminder that the dance of life flourishes in the space between, where fleeting moments of beauty and the struggle for freedom entwine in an eternal ballet. Ultimately, Ballerina serves as an homage to the very act of being alive, a celebration of the complexity of existence, marked by the beautiful conflict between aspiration and artifice, between possession and liberation. The ballerina's dance becomes a metaphor for the human condition itself, where art serves not as a cage, but as a window into the soul's deepest yearnings. In this understanding, both artist and muse find liberation, not in the completion of the work, but in the recognition of its eternal incompleteness. The ballerina's leap reminds us that true art lies not in capture, but in the celebration of the dance itself, forever in motion, forever free, forever creating new possibilities for understanding and connection. In this eternal ballet, we find not answers, but the beauty of perpetual questioning, the dance between what is and what could be, forever unfolding in the space where art and life converge.